gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of our weekly Celtic Q&A live streams where we are officially into match week here at Celtic. Yes, we've got a week where we have a game where Celtic are playing. It isn't until Sunday, it's only Monday, so there's still a few days to go, but we are slowly and surely getting towards the end of the international break. So I thank you all, my loyal subscribers, if you have been patient enough to wait for some content. I decided just to take the weekend off basically because there wasn't anything. There's nothing today either, to be quite honest. We'll make stories to talk about. Not actually, mate. I'm not going to sit here and make up lies to talk about. But we'll find things to talk about. We'll have a bit of a gab. We'll have a laugh. We'll look forward to Sunday, and all the rest of it. But over the weekend and today, there hasn't been anything that has been worthy enough for me to I was like, bugger it. We'll just wait. We'll wait till Monday. We'll regroup. I'm not going to drag the arse out of a 10-15 minute video on fucking Dyson Maida coming back early. I see no point of it. So tonight we're live. Tonight is about you dictating the conversation, and we'll cover a couple of the things that there is in the news, of course. But let's have a laugh with it, I suppose. Let's start the week off with a bang. We've got a few. Oh, there's Ryan McGinley. Look at that. There he is. How you doing? Nice to see you. You've got a spanner beside your name. I know that's because you're an admin, but it looks really weird. It's calling you a spanner, son. It was YouTube, not me. But we'll take your questions. We'll answer your questions. I think that's essentially going to be the whole stream for today, because there isn't much there to talk about. However, I did want to mention something just before I noticed Ryan was in the chat, and it's completely gone from my memory because I said, oh, there's Ryan McGinley. And now I forgot what it was I was actually going to speak about, which is quite annoying. So I blame you, Ryan. I blame you. Thanks. Aye, how we all doing? Nice to see you. It was good. I enjoyed the Football Manager live stream we done the other night. That was fun. So more of them maybe to come. That's what I was going to say. Don't worry. Tonight we're doing this stream, but I actually do have videos planned for every other day this week, I believe. Starting tomorrow, I've got a video idea. Wednesday, I've got it all planned out, and then if any news happens, that'd be even better, because then I could replace these videos, which I don't think will do too well anyway, with relative to what's happening, video news topics, things that will be good. Aye, so don't worry, there is content planned for the whole week. It's nice to see a lot of familiar names in the chat. Typhoon McFlustery, what a name, says, hail, hail, Ryan. Thank God the football's back on Sunday. Another pointless international break. Absolutely, a terrible international break. Am I going to be playing FM in this stream? No, not this stream. I've got 5-a-sides at 8 o'clock. So I need to be off here sharpish. 7:30. As soon as 7:30 hits, boom, I'm away. So there was no point in me putting fucking FM on tonight. But I do appreciate you asking. A lot of people asking about FM. If there's demand for it, I might do another one of those streams this week. Go live for a couple of hours. Play some Football Manager, talk about Celtic. Shall we talk about some of the things that are in the news then? For as little as there actually is. Rocco Vata, he scored a hat-trick for the Ireland under-21s against San Marino. Which has engaged took a lot of reaction online, and I think that his agent has put up a tweet that's quite speculative of him maybe exiting Celtic and not signing a new contract. That's one of the things that's in the news. Dyson Maida, of course, is returning, and he might have already returned by now to Lennoxtown to meet up with the Celtic side after his international break was cut short with the Japanese national team. And aside from that, there genuinely is not much in the news. You would be pressed to find a story about Celtic over the past few days, which is news. A lot of good features and articles and stuff about, that people have produced elsewhere about the past or whatnot. I think it was the Celtic Exchange have done a brilliant series on the Celtic crisis in the 1990s. When we got bought over with Fergus McCann. That was really, really good, by the way. I would shout that out to go and look at it. But when it comes to actual news, there is not much. Thank you, Jordan, by the way. Happy Monday, mate. Bring on the weekend. Yes, Easter weekend. Thank you, Jordan. I really appreciate the donation in these hard times. No, I'm joking, but thank you. I do appreciate the donation, and I hope you're doing well, son. It's nice to see you back in the chat. Shall we just go into a Q&A and have a bit of a laugh at tonight? We are, of course, taking on Livingston on Sunday. A must-win for Celtic at the Tony Macaroni, a stadium where Brendan Rodgers has had mixed fortunes, to say the least. But we played there earlier on this season, and we got the job done, emphatically. We played really, really well. Showed that Brendan Rodgers can indeed win on these plastic surfaces, despite the belief that we can't. And I think when it comes to it, and Sunday, we need to see this statement performance. And I don't want to talk about that game specifically too much because we'll be doing that towards the end of the week when we get our press conference news or team news and such. We'll see if there's any updates on Hatate, for example, or McGregor if they're going to start that game. So I don't want to talk about it or lean too heavily into talking about that game. But I do think that this weekend has to be a statement performance from Celtic. This is now the first game of the final run-in. It's here till the end of the season. By the end of this stretch, we will know who the champions of Scotland are. And of course, we want that to be us. We need a statement performance. I know that I wouldn't be. I will be happy if we go to Tony Macaroni and win 2-0, as long as we play well throughout the 90 minutes. Because it is a hard ground to go to. They've had a miserable fucking season. It's a horrible surface. It's a tight surface. It's one that we've never had a great fortune on. If we just go there and win, but we do it with a good 90 minutes, I'll be happy. But we need to show that this is going to be a run that we're up for. We can't go and struggle. We can't go and keep the game at 0-0 or 1 each or whatever until the 82nd minute. We need to be winning that game by a couple of goals. We need to be trying to keep a clean sheet as well. We just need to be starting this run in with a bigger positive than what we've seen throughout the season. And obviously, we need to put the pressure on Rangers because we have an advantage right now. We will have that one game advantage over Rangers up until after the derby. After the derby. When they'll take on Dundee in their game in hand. So I want us to start well against Livingston. I want us to carry that on to Ibrox the following week. We need that optimism in the fans and the side. We need that motivation. So Sunday is going to be interesting. It's just good to think over the fact that we will be back. And hopefully we'll shut Martindale up once again. That'd be nice. Q&A, let's do it, shall we? Let's do it. Let's talk to you guys. Let's get your questions and answers. It doesn't just need to be about the Celtic game on Sunday against Livingston. It can be about anything in regards to the season. It can be anything about Celtic at all. I'm going to start with this because I've seen a few people asking. So shout out to Doug, one of the regulars on here and a Livingston supporter, of course. Hi Ryan, do you know if Rodgers is banned for the game on Sunday? We should find out the verdict. So a lot of people are asking. I'll keep Doug's comment on the screen for reference to talk about it. This is actually a big talking point heading into this weekend. We don't know the verdict yet. We will know the verdict on, what day is it today? We'll know the verdict on Wednesday/Thursday, I believe. That's when we'll know. The hearing was scheduled for the 28th, which is Thursday, I'm sure. It's the 27th or the 28th, but I'm pretty sure it's the 28th. We'll know by the press conference on Friday, put it that way, if Brendan Rodgers will be banned or not. But everybody asking, do I know now? Or do I have any information on it now? No, I don't. I have as much information as you guys do. Nobody has any information because it's a live hearing. It's not like it's predetermined. The whole point is that Celtic and Brendan Rodgers will go forward and present their case to try and get the ban retracted and to try and get Brendan Rodgers allowed on the touchline. So it's a live hearing. The decision will be made there and then. It's not predetermined, so we'll find out through the week on the 20th. Thank you for confirming that. I knew it was the 28th, Tam. Thank you. The 28th, we'll find out on Thursday whether or not Brendan Rodgers is banned, not only for the Livingston game, but for the Rangers game as well. So it's a big hearing for him. It's a big hearing for us. I've already spoke about it quite in depth over the past couple of weeks. I'm not as hung up about it as what some people may be. I don't think it makes a big deal. But I'm hoping that it does get retracted. I hope it does get flipped around because I think it was well within his rights to come out and criticise the refereeing performance at Tynecastle a few weeks ago. It was a terrible performance from both the on-field referees and the VAR officials in Clydesdale House. And I feel like Brendan Rodgers was quite right to speak his mind on it. And I know that people say, well, rules are there for a reason. Well, referees are not, in my eyes, immune to criticism. Just like, managers aren't, and just like players aren't. Referees are also a big part of the game. If anything, they might be the most important part of the game because they can make the decisions that win or lose you a game. So you should be allowed to openly criticise them. So Thursday, we'll find out what happens to Brendan Rodgers. I'm hoping that the ban is overturned, but there is no guarantee that will happen. If anything, I would hedge my bets on the fact that it will probably be sustained, and we will be missing Brendan Rodgers for Sunday and Ibrox, but we'll wait and see what happens. Right, let's go then, shall we? Let's get back into talking to you guys. Smell the glove, nice to see. It says, I think the Lodge will ban, that gave me a chuckle there, will ban Brendan from the dugout for 4 games, which will include the Celtic part. They surely can't go to the extent of 4 games. That would be criminal if they went to the extent of 4 games. I think that it's either the 2 games I think there's 3, and this might just sound like I'm fucking stating the obvious here, so slag me all you like, right? I think there's 3 realistic outcomes. 1, the ban is sustained, and he misses Livingston and Rangers. 2, the ban is overturned, he misses no games, or 3, he gets a 1-game ban and they give him mercy for the derby. Because we know what they can be like, the SFA. Sometimes they do like to bend over backwards for the big 2. I think we can be a wee bit fucking honest when we say that. So I think it's one of those 3. I would be incredibly surprised if it was a longer than a 2-game ban. But who knows? You know what they're like. I agree with you. The decision makings with some of them are difficult. So, let's see. Hopefully it won't make it. Yeah, hopefully it won't make a difference. Absolutely, I agree with that. Does Hatate just walk straight back into the starting 11? In terms of the, sorry, my glasses are a bit manky. I don't mean to be rude and look down, and also you'll be looking at me funny because I've not got my specs on, right? From a quality point of view, absolutely, he does. For me, he absolutely walks back in. From a realistic point of view, no. Because Livingston is not the game for me where I would rush Rio Hatate back into the starting 11. I wouldn't put him onto the plastic park straight away and the risk of him getting another lengthy injury or another injury that keeps him out for any amount of games in the split where we need him the most. If there was one, but what I am saying is, if there was a 100% guarantee he would play 90 minutes and not get injured, yes, he walks straight back into the starting 11. That would be my quick answer to that, Mark. Do we think 45 minutes is enough for Hatate to start at Ibrox? I can't see him being risked in the surface this weekend. That's another good question, a follow-up to the question about him walking straight back into the team. And I spoke about this the other day. It's such a difficult situation, isn't it? I don't think that there's a plain black and white answer to this. I really don't. Because in my head, I don't think Hatate's going to start at Ibrox, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't. I think that he'll be left on the bench, and then if we need him to change the game, we'll bring him on. But I think that Brendan Rodgers, and whether you agree with this decision or not, is a completely different story, but I think that Brendan Rodgers is more than happy and more than comfortable to start that game at Ibrox with Tomoki Iwata, Matt O'Reilly and Callum McGregor. I think he's more than happy with that, because if he can get the team playing well enough to take the lead at Ibrox, we don't need to worry or stress about bringing Hatate on the park. So I think he'll be perfectly happy for that. But I hope we do see him get some minutes in his legs at Livingston. It just will be very anxious to watch when we know how difficult it can be on that surface and how harsh it can be on a football player's body. So hopefully we see him maybe get 10 or 20 minutes, but I don't see him starting the game at Ibrox, if I'm being quite honest. But I could be wrong. It depends on what they see at Lennox Town. You know, we are in a position where we don't see them every day. We see them in the very limited minutes that they might get on a park when they play at the weekend. For all we know, he's absolutely smashing it at Lennox Town. He's ready to play 90 minutes in both games. But we just need to wait to see what the manager says at the press conference on Friday. A lot of by the way, thank you for the 175 viewers in, by the way, tonight, in a day where there's literally no news or nothing. I really do appreciate that. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would go a long way, especially if you could. I don't mean to sound like a beg. I don't like begging. But if you haven't, please smash the like button, because at times like this, when the international break is on and the content isn't exactly coming out thick and fast, you pressing that like button helps me a hell of a fucking lot getting onto recommended. So if you could, go down below, hit the like button. Thank you. I am going on Sunday, Alistair. I will be there. That would be probably my last away game that I'm going to get on my own criteria this Sunday, so it's the last dance for me. Remember Lennon got a 6-game ban? I do remember. I know. That's what I mean, as you said earlier on, I wouldn't be absolutely stunned at all if I wouldn't be stunned if Rodgers was given more than a 2-game ban. But you know, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Ryan says hello from Canada. Hello. I don't know what part of Canada you're from, so I don't know if you speak French, but if you do, then au revoir. Hello from Canada. Thoughts on Alistair Johnson taking on Lionel Messi in the Copa America opener in June? Johnson's going to fucking kill him. No, I'm joking. That's harsh. But yeah, they'll be fucking fun to watch, I suppose. The season that Alistair Johnson's had hasn't been the greatest. So, kind of worried for him up against Lionel Messi. But it should be a good matchup. I look forward to seeing it. Thank you, Ryan. God, a lot of questions. My God. If I miss your questions, feel free to spam them back in. I just need to try and scroll through. I think Hatate will get the last 20 minutes at Ibrox from the bench if needed. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying as well. I agree with that. I agree. I do hope to see him back soon, though, as Brian has mentioned. That would be nice. Happier for Iwata to break up the play and bring Hatate on later. I'm assuming that's in relation to Ibrox and at Rangers. And yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers will be more than happy with that. I'd be happy with it. I think that Iwata having that kind of defensive job to do in front of the back line at Ibrox could prove very important. I think that it shouldn't be underestimated either. You've just got to obviously hope that him stepping into the cauldron that will be an Ibrox packed with Rangers fans and a title battle doesn't affect him. And that's my only worry, really. But I have the utmost confidence that he can take to it. Probably Mania time. Probably after Mania. I think I'm going to kick it off with a vlog when I'm there. Not like an actual... Well, kind of like a vlog, but I'm not going to sit during WrestleMania with a camera in my face going, woo, you know what I mean? But you'll see. Probably then. Should have started before then, but I didn't really know what to do. God almighty. Going back to your Andy days again, Ryan, did your year have an S6 pupils versus teachers game? Yes, they did. They did indeed. I never played in it. I never participated. I wasn't asked to. I wasn't in I wasn't that good to play for like the year's team. So I'm alright. I can kick a ball. I'm playing Vice tonight. I'm half decent. I'm like okay, but I'm no good by any stretch of the imagination. But yes, we did. And good luck. I don't know what teachers are playing, but fucking gets tore into them. Thoughts on the Lagerbielke situation? The likes of Phillips, Welsh and Iwata have all started games ahead of him. Something has gone horribly wrong. It is a situation that I think we'll not hear answers about, really, or honest answers until the Lagerbielke's left the club. Then maybe one day he'll speak about it. I really don't know what's going on there, and I don't think anybody properly does. It is baffling. It's bizarre. The fact that, you know, Nat Phillips, who was a donkey, was playing ahead of him. The fact that Welsh has been injured all season, then comes back in and straight away goes in ahead of him. The fact that Iwata's a centre midfielder playing ahead of him. I need to know the story. I need to know why it's happening. It's a bizarre situation. I don't necessarily like the situation, but there has to be a reason for it. And until the day we hear one of them speak, we'll not know. Adam asking, where does the door behind you go for the loft? That's for me to know and you to find out. I like keeping things a mystery. It's a very disappointing mystery, just saying. Sorry, look, I do want to get back to Twitch soon. I'm sorry. I will go back to it. I will. Need to refund your money. Do we have enough on the bench if we need to turn... do we have enough on the bench if we need to turn there to change the game? I get what you're trying to ask, so I'll answer the question saying hopefully by then we will have enough on the bench when the squad is fully fit. Hatate, McGregor and such back in the team, Palmer back in the team. Hopefully we will have enough on the bench. So we'll just need to wait and see. Right, I'm going to have to scroll down the chat because I'm falling behind. So if I've missed your question, that would be... apologies, but it would be appreciated if you just spam it back in. I'm gonna come down and scroll down. What do I think the score will be on Sunday? Not gonna spoil my videos later in the week because I need the views. Watch then. We'll win. Put it that way. I get asked this question I feel every live stream, and I still have a very unjustified no to that question. I don't know why. I'm not gonna say Angus Gunn to me just comes across as the option for all of us who, honestly, and this is us holding our hands up in the air, who we just don't know anybody else. So we're like, oh, I know who Angus Gunn is, so we'll take him. I don't think he's that great a keeper, to be honest, but I know who he is, and that's why I'd probably turn around and go, he's alright. That's because I know him. Not for me, personally. I'd like the club to do their due diligence and go and find a right good keeper, if they possibly can. But we'll just need to wait and see what happens. I think we're going to have an unknown keeper. I've said that all year. I don't think we're going to get a keeper that we've heard of, and I think that's already in motion with the rumours that we've heard from Holland. So yeah, Nawrowski's a better player than Lagerbielke. I agree with that, but both of them have been unlucky with trying to get going this season, haven't they? Are you going to call up to ref it? Mr. Quinn? Mr. Quinn's still going. Jesus, God Almighty. Mad Quinny. Would you take a draw at Ibrox? Probably. But, I mean, I feel like a draw at this point still feels like a defeat. But I think that, you know, if you were to come to me on the morning of the game and go, oh, like, would you take a draw? if it means you don't lose, if you're guaranteed not to lose the game, obviously, absolutely. You'd rather a draw than a loss. So, yeah, I probably would take it. We just need to see what the games are like heading into that. And then, obviously, Celtic Park is going to be even grander. You know, it's going to be a much bigger game. So that'll be huge. I'm good at hitting the doubles. But I'm not good at darts. I'm better than the average bloke. No, I'm not. That's a lie. I'm not great. I'm probably better than the majority of my pals because I used to have a darts board when I was younger, but it doesn't mean I'm good. That's about it. I'm not going to be at Charlie and the boys. No, I will not be there. Not this time. How much is Bernardo worth to me? I said I'd pay absolute tops 4 million. I don't think he's worth that, but I'm saying if there was negotiations to be done, the absolute tops I would go as 4 million. I think he's probably worth around 3. From what I've seen. I like him, though. I like him. I know it sounds negative, but I take a draw at Ibrox. But 3 points and a few goals at Livy first. Absolutely. See, that's the thing. I'll take a draw at Ibrox if we're convincing at the weekend. Yeah. But, you know, we obviously need we need that win at Ibrox, don't we? We need to, it would be good for so many reasons to beat them at Ibrox. But Ibrox isn't the end-all be-all, I'm afraid, because we could win at Ibrox and then we could lose at Celtic Park and, you know, the whole thing gets erased. So you've just got to wait and see. What do you think the striker situation is looking like for next season? If it's Kyogo and I will give up. I think that we'll need to sign a striker. Absolutely. I think we need. Listen, we're going to have to talk about this loads over the next few months on the channel. Next season's kind of like a mini rebuild, isn't it? We do need to bring in quality in a lot of areas. I don't know if Adamida's going to end up signing permanently for us or not. I don't think that he should be the priority option as a striker anyway, even though I like him. But there's going to be a whole lot of work to do, and I hope that's not the striker situation. I hope we're not looking at a reality where they two are the only 2 strikers that we have. I've got a lot of questions. I mean, there's the question being asked there about do I think we should try and get Ida on a long-term deal. I mean, there's still a few more games to judge. We're going to have to wait till the end of the season to make that decision. What I've seen of him so far, I like him. I really do. But, you know, I'm not going to rush in and say, oh, we should sign him after a few games. So we'll wait to the end of the season and we'll see how that goes. Better at darts than Luke Littler. Oh, yes, me. I should be in the Premier League. I should be. I've seen a lot of talk about Easter eggs, but I've missed them. More than a mini rebuild required. Yeah, do you know what? I was probably being quite generous, to be honest. Probably being quite generous in saying a mini rebuild. Let's get McGinley involved. What's he saying? Thoughts on Alistair Johnson being an in-form player at the moment. Good to see him kicking on. I've been waiting for it. I mean, I took a lot of flack a few months ago on the channel. I think it was during the winter break. And I'd done the tier list video. And I was rating everybody's seasons. And I put Alistair Johnson into good. And I took a lot of stick for it. Because a lot of people didn't think he was having a good season. And I agreed. I thought he was well off the quality that we've seen in his opening kind of 6 months here at the club. But what I did say when I said good, and my justification for that was, I don't think he's been as bad as what people are making it out. I think that people are just very underwhelmed compared to the opening 6 months that he had, and he's not been that good. But I still think he's had a solid season. I think he's been okay. And I think in recent weeks he's been back to his best. Ryan's saying the stats back it up. I mean, I'm not a huge stats guy anyway. I'd rather just fucking judge the game off of what I see in my eyes. But he has been evidently better, and the stats do back that up. So it's good though. It's good for Celtic. I mean, we know there's a really good player there in Alistair Johnson, and I want him when he's playing at his best. He's the best right back in this country by a fucking country mile. You know, James Taverner doesn't even come close to him. So, you know, the more consistently he plays like that, the better off we'll be as a side. We don't need to worry about, you know, improving in that area either, and hopefully just keeps it up from now to the end of the season. That's the main thing for me. What would be my darts walk-on song? Well, my entrance theme at ICW is I don't know if I've spoken about this yet. So I've got an entrance. You know, it's not live on the telly. It happens before we go live. Or not on the telly, on Triller Plus. And I've picked the Hawaii 5-0 theme. There's an inside joke surrounding that. But I couldn't do that for the darts because somebody uses that, don't they? I can't remember who. But somebody uses the Hawaii 5-0 theme in the darts. So I'd have to change it up. I don't know. I'd maybe pick something like country. So you know me, I love my country music. But I don't know what I'd pick. Let's see. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. Let's get the likes up. Absolutely. Alistair Johnson is a great player, says Alistair Jack. So that's a mouthful, innit? Alistair Jack says Alistair Johnson's a great player. But he is a great player. I like him a lot. I've liked him from the minute he came out of the door. He's also, just side note, the nicest football player I've ever met, Alistair Johnson. One of the nicest guys, genuinely, I've ever met. I remember doing the fan media press conference with the with Alistair Johnson, and at the end I was having a conversation with, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Hamish, maybe it was somebody, and we were in the front row. And he just chipped in. He just joined in the conversation, which is very unusual because usually they get up and they walk out, the players. But Johnson jumped into the conversation, and he was just such a nice, genuine guy. Talking about the weather and that too. So I love him. I love him to bits. Have I got any favourite world record stats? Let's just keep that to ourselves, thanks. Let's see. Wayne Mardo. Is that who it is? Is it Wayne Mardo? I knew there was somebody that came out to Hawaii 5-0. I just couldn't remember who it was. That's me now. That's my theme. Come out to that. I knew there was somebody that walked out to the darts. I just couldn't remember who it was. Wayne Mardo. Yes. Oh, shut up. By the way, I wish I said that now. I'd have to pick a wrestling theme. Definitely. I would. I don't know what one though, because I love too many of them. Oh, but Sexy Boy is an absolute shout. Is Brendan still the right guy for Celtic? Yes. Yes, he is. And I'll die on that hill. I don't care if we're 10th in the league and he gets the sack. I'll die on the hill. I do watch the darts. I like the darts. I don't get to watch it that often on the Thursdays for the Premier League because we film the podcast usually on a Thursday. But yeah, I do love the darts. Do you want Hearts or Rangers in the Scottish Cup final? Hearts. Obviously. If we go through. I'm not taking it for granted. Aberdeen will end up fucking putting us out. But Hearts. Easily. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I want to see Rangers win games. I don't want to pretend I want to see them in a cup final. And I don't want to pretend that I would enjoy the chance of them beating us in a cup final. Hearts is the answer every day of the week. Do you think another centre-back is needed? Yes, I do. I'm not even going to talk about the rest of the question because it's as simple as that. Yes. Scales, Welsh. We need the whole... Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think we do. I think it's very important that we actually go out there and find ourselves a new centre half. Podcast live show. We'll see come May. I'm like Brendan Rodgers. We'll see you in May. We'll see how the season ends. Because I don't think it'll be received too well if we do it, if we don't win the league. So wait and see. But I would love to do it. I love all these personal questions. I actually didn't because it was pissing a rain, so we didn't go. We had our own arrangements. We went to a gaff, as they call it. We were all meant to, but it was pissing a rain on our last day of school. So no, we did not. God, I've spoken more about my school life tonight than I have Celtic, I think. Everybody knows where to find you now. They're not going to find me at Greenfield, I'll tell you that. No nowadays. No nowadays. Maybe when I was 18. Do you ever get overwhelmed by the amount of questions in these Q&As? I can try my best to keep up. Overwhelmed is a bit far. The one thing that do you know about these Q&As? I don't get overwhelmed. I get... Not self-conscious isn't the word. I get worried about not answering everybody's questions. I don't like to leave anybody out. And if like, obviously I'll leave people out if it's a fucking stupid, ridiculous question. But I want to answer everybody's question. I want to answer every single one, but I'm always obviously got a certain amount of time. So no, I don't get overwhelmed. I just want to make sure we can answer everybody. Aidan says, I'm not sure if we'll get past Aberdeen, but I hope we can get a trophy stopping Sevco getting a treble. It's always weird. I always try my best to avoid saying like Sevco and that on stream because I don't want like Rangers fans clipping me thinking that I'm being a Celtic dad. But sometimes you just go, haven't you? Sometimes it's funny. I think we can. I think there's a double on the cards for us still. That's ambitious, though. I'm not saying we're gonna win a treble. I still think, I just think it's possible. I'm still optimistic on this season. Look, listen, I have spoke about it. I don't care about recency bias. I don't care what anybody says. This is the exact reason that I wanted Brendan Rodgers back at the club. 2016 and 2017 are my favourite ever years following Celtic. I've never had more fun in my life. I've never enjoyed anything more in my life. that was peak for me. And Ange Ball was a very close second. But just for me personally, Dembele, Sinclair, Roberts, McGregor, Armstrong, Rogic, Lustig, Tierney, that era is just it's my bread and butter. It's my favourite. I love it. And that's why I wanted Rodgers back. And maybe people will say, well, that's, you've gubbed it for yourself wanting them back. You've romanticised the past or whatnot. But it was just a brilliant period of time. That first season, an invincible treble, the cup final, which is the best game of football I've ever been in my life. And then Europe was fun as well. We drew with Man City at Celtic Park. It was a good night. We drew with them at the Etihad as well. Obviously we kind of gubbed it against Gladbach, but it was just a great season, and it's my favourite season ever being a Celtic fan. So it's got a special place in my heart, to be quite honest. Aye. Don't worry if you can't answer anyone's question when you do a grand job live stream. Thank you. That's nice. Who'd I rather fight, Wanyama or Baldy? I'd rather fight Wanyama. I see a lot of people saying Bobo. Everybody saying Bobo. Oh, who would win a fight? I've always said Bobo. Bobo would win a fight easy. I was like, why is it? I've always said, who would you rather fight? And I was like, why is everybody saying Bobo Baldi? I'm like, do we remember Bobo Baldi? Aye, no, yeah. The answer is Bobo Baldi. I'd rather fight Wanyama. I'd rather fight none, to be quite fucking honest. But I agree with that. There's a question. There's a point to end the stream on. Knock out Joshua, absolutely. And hopefully when he gets sent off for it this time, that's the main thing. Right, I'm going to wrap up there. As I said, I've got 5 asides at 8 o'clock, so I need to get changed and into my gear. The Scott Brown attire. Shaving my head as well. It'll grow back by tomorrow, don't worry. But thank you everybody for tuning in this evening. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect it to be as active as it was tonight. So honestly, thank you very much for coming and joining in and tuning in. We will be back on the channel hopefully tomorrow. There will be another stream this week, so don't worry if you've missed it or you want another one. There will be one. But thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.